Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashnaya Bhutale Simada Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Vacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavali Bhratya Desha Tarine Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
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 Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 8, the prayers by Queen Kunti, text 27, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya.
It's not Krishnaya, it's Krishnaya. Whenever there's a line on top of the vocal, it's long, twice as long as the other. So it's not Govindaya, it's Govindaya, and it's not Krishnaya, it's Krishnaya. And Vasudevaya. Sometimes they say, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. It's not Vasudevaya, it's Vasudevaya. So, Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Krishnaya,
Krishnaya,
the Supreme Lord,
the Supreme Lord,
Vasudevaya,
Vasudevaya,
unto the son of Vasudev,
unto the son of Vasudev,
Devaki Nandanaya,
Devaki Nandanaya,
unto the son of Devaki,
unto the son of Devaki,
Cha, and Nanda Gopa,
Nanda Gopa,
Nanda and the cowherd men,
Nanda the Gauravani,
Kumaraya,
Kumaraya,
unto their son,
unto their son,
Govindaya,
Govindaya,
unto the personality of Godhead who enlivens the cows and the senses.
unto the personality of Godhead, the cows and the senses.
What does it mean? You didn't translate, right? Did you? So let's hear.
На Божествената личност, която носи радост на кравите и на стадата.
So they don't repeat anymore. Namaha. Respectful obeisance.
Respectful obeisance.
Exacto. Namaha, obeisances. Translation. Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda and the other cowherd men of Vrindavan, and the enlivener of the cows and the senses.
Това ни подам смирение с почитание на Бога, който стана син на Васудева, радост на Деваки, момче на Нанда и на останалите пастири във Вриндавана, и който носи радост на кравите и на сетивата.
Third part. The Lord, being thus unapproachable by any material assets, out of unbounded and causeless mercy descends on the earth, as he is, in order to show his special mercy upon his unalloyed devotees and to diminish the upsurges of the demoniac persons.
Пояснение. По безпричинната и безкрайната си милост, Богът, който е непостижим чрез материални средства, слиза на земята такъв какъвто е, за да дари чистите си преданни с изключителното си благоволение и да ограничи властта на демоничните хора.
Queen Kunti specifically adores the incarnation or descent of Lord Krishna above all other incarnations because in this particular incarnation he is more approachable.
Kunti предпочита тази инкарнация аватара на Бог Кришна пред всички други, защото в този си облик той е по-достъпен.
In the Rama incarnation, he remained a king's son from his very childhood. But in the incarnation of Krishna, although he was the son of a king, he had once left the shelter of his real father and mother, King Vasudeva and Queen Devaki, just after his appearance, and went to the lap of Yashoda Mai to play the part of an ordinary cowherd boy in the blessed Vrajabhumi, which is very sanctified because of his childhood pastimes.
В инкарнацията си като Рама, той е останал царски син през целия си живот, а когато дошъл като Кришна, макар че бил царски син, напуснал дома на истински си родители цар Васудев и царица Девачи, веднага след появяването си и се преместил в скута на Яшода Май, за да играе ролята на обикновено пастирче в благословената Враджабхуми, осветена от детските наблюдения.
Therefore, Lord Krishna is more merciful than Lord Ram.
Затова Бог Кришна е по-милостив от Бог Рама.
He was undoubtedly very kind to Kunti's brother Vasudeva and the family.
Той бил много добър към брата на Кунти Васудев и към семейството.
Had he not become the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, Queen Kunti could not claim him to be her nephew and thus address Krishna in parental affection.
Ако той не бе станал син на Васудев и Деваки, царицата Кунти нямаше да може да го нарича свой племенник и да се обръща към него с майчинска обич.
But Nanda and Yashoda are more fortunate because they could relish the Lord's childhood pastimes, which are more attractive than all other pastimes.
Но Нанда и Яшода били по-щастливи, защото може да се наслаждават на детските забавления на Бога, които са по-привлекателни от всичките му други забавления.
There is no parallel to his childhood pastimes as exhibited at Vrajabhumi, which are the prototypes of his external affairs in the original Krishna Loka described as the Chintamani Dharma in the Brahma Samhita 529.
Няма нищо, което може да се сравни с детските забавления на Бога, показани в Раджабхуми. Техен първообраз са вечните му развлечения на изначалната Кришна Лока, която в Брахма Самхита се описва като Чинтамани Дама.
Lord Shri Krishna descended himself at Vrajabhumi with all his transcendental entourage and paraphernalia.
Бог Шри Кришна сляза в Раджабхуми с всичките си трансцендентални принадлежности и обкръжения.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore confirmed that no one is as fortunate as the residents of Rajabhumi, and specifically the cowherd girls who dedicated their everything for the satisfaction of the Lord.
Затова ще читаем Махапрабху твърди, че никой не е по-щастлив с служителите на Раджабхуми и най-вече от пастирките, които отдали за удоволствието на Бога всичко, което имали.
His pastimes with Nanda and Yashoda, and his pastimes with the cowherd men, and especially with the cowherd boys and the cows, have caused him to be known as Govinda.
Задължението му с Нанда и Яшода, пастирите, и особено с малките пастирчета и кравите, са причина той да бъде наричан Говинда.
Lord Krishna, as Govinda, is more inclined to the brahmanas and the cows, indicating thereby that human prosperity depends more on these two items, namely Brahminical culture and cow protection.
Бог Кришна е особено благоразположен към браманите и кравите, което показва, че благополучието на човечеството зависи най-вече от браминската култура и закрилата на кравите.
Lord Krishna is never satisfied where these are lacking.
Бог Кришна не може да бъде удовлетворен, ако тези неща липсват. Krishnaya
Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Let me, therefore, offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda and the other cowherd men of Vrindavan, and the enlivener of the cows and the senses.
Това никой от нас мерени почитание на Бога, който стана син на Васудев, радост на Деваки, момче на Нанда и останалите пастири в Вриндавана, и който носи радост на кравите и на фестивалите.
Madhyanatimirandasya Yananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamayam Darati Swapadantikam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Vando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapsakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishavanu Sutireri Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyaevacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Ananta Rupam. Brahma Samhita says that Krishna, although he is one, he is actually non-dual, Advaita, he has Ananta Rupa, unlimited forms.
Каза се, че въпреки че Бог Кришна е една личност, която не е воинствена, той се проявява безкрайно много форми.
We are also some of the forms of Krishna.
И ние също сме една от формите, които Кришна проявява.
Believe it or not.
Дори да ми вярвате или да не ми вярвате.
Because everything is coming from him. Everything is his expansion. And we are separated tiny sparks of spirit. We are not direct expansions, which are called Vishnu Tattva. And generally it is said they're all equally powerful. And well, Krishna has 100% of all qualities.
100% от всичките качества.
And the other expansions, they have then less and less and less percentage.
Другите вече имат по-малко проценти, по-малко проценти, по-малко.
Yeah. Krishna has 4 qualities that are unique. Only he has, nobody else has.
Кришна има 4 уникални качества, които притежава, които никой друг не притежава.
Now, who knows at least one? There are 4. You know one. So you will wait until nobody knows. So what do you think? What's unique about Krishna? Well, then it may be the 5th quality. But that's not amongst the 4. The 4, they have one adjective in front of them, which is madhurya, which means sweet. So, it's not the kaustuba. So now you don't have a chance until everybody else. Then you can have a second try. What do you think? No idea. What do you think?
Because he's perfect.
Oh, everybody else is also perfect. Bhagavan is perfect. Mahavishnu is perfect. All the Vishnu Tattvas are perfect. Some quality that only he has. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is more compassionate. Srimati Radharani is more compassionate.
He's the original personality.
Right. But that's not one of the qualities. That's a position. So? At least one. There are 4.
I know one.
Yeah, I know you know. But everybody should know at least 2 immediately.
I know it's horrible.
So now anybody, whoever knows, can no? That's not a good sign. So you have to read more.
Can you make the devotion?
Yes, so you say one, you know.
When Krishna played on his flute, all the incantations are completely attractive.
Yes, his flute playing is, nobody else can play flute like him. Right? And he has different kinds of flutes also. Yes, long ones, short ones, golden ones, bamboo ones. Of course, he has many flutes. Bangshi, Murali, Akarshani, that's all, they're all described. So, yes, when he plays his flute, we cannot even imagine. I mean, in this world, let's say, one of the most celebrated composers definitely is Mozart. Because he has really, unique, beautiful melodies. And if you know, I don't know whether you know, there's one opera, it's called The Magical Flute. Yes. The original title in German, Zauberflöte. And I don't remember the melody, but everybody knows that melody, about the flute. So, but that compared to Krishna's flute playing is insignificant. Not everybody likes Mozart. But many do. So, but Krishna's flute playing is attractive to every living entity. And sometimes it is said when they hear the flute, everybody gets completely stunned and tries to figure out the composition. Yeah, those who are moving, they become paralyzed in ecstasy. And those who are non-moving, like stones and trees and other living entities, they start to move with the melody. So, besides his flute, actually should be the first one we should all remember and know. What is so unique about Krishna? Unparalleled. Nobody can compare.
Има нещо, което е уникално и първото, което трябва да го знаем. Нещо, в което Кришна е несравним.
Мисля, че или усмивката е по-голяма.
I think his smile or his glance.
That's number 6 and 7. But it's not far away from. He doesn't have many things. He has a peacock feather also. He has a bugle. That's not. What is it? Please. This is embarrassing. His beauty. Unparalleled beauty. He's so beautiful. We cannot even imagine. So, then next, it was mentioned in the purport. No, yeah, he can look, but you don't remember. That's the problem. He doesn't remember. He has to look.
He's merciful.
Well, there's many. No, that's not the one. We already have that. His unparalleled childhood pastimes. Nobody has, except for Krishna. So it was Venu Madhurya, which is the sweetness of his flute playing. Rupa Madhurya, the sweetness of his form. And then Lila Madhurya, the sweet pastimes. And then we are missing one. Well, no, it's not. He's surrounded by loving devotees. Nobody, especially. So therefore Krishna is very, he's the origin, the original person, and nobody can compare. And that's the Swayam Rupa, the original form. there's Ananta Rupa, so many different forms. And in the Bhagavatam we have a lot of descriptions of different incarnations of the Lord. And they also show maybe different qualities and aspects. So Krishna can take on any form, obviously. He's all powerful and there's nothing that can impede his whatever he wants to do. It's like the supreme magician.
Кришна е всемогъщ, може да се прояви в каквато и да е форма пожелае. Той е така като върховния магиоз.
So therefore when we hear that, a tortoise is the supreme personality of Godhead, why not?
И затова когато ние чуем, че костенурка е върховната божествена личност, ние си казваме, защо да не?
Once we accept that the Supreme is all powerful, he can do whatever he wants, then everything is possible.
Когато чуем, че върховния е способен да направи всичко, което поиска, и тогава ние разбираме, че всичко е възможно.
He can be a fish, like Matsya Avatar, but of course not an ordinary fish. Right? You remember the story? He starts like very small, and then he starts to expand, and then suddenly, it's so huge that. So that's Krishna.
Помните ли историята? Кришна не е някаква малка обикновена рибка. В началото той се появил в някаква малка рибка и после почна да се увеличава, да се увеличава, накрая става огромен.
Or Varaha, similar. He comes out of Brahma's nostril. That's all crazy stories.
И Брахма също, и също Вараха, той се появил в ноздрата на Вараха, на Брахма. Това не е ли някаква скачена история?
Then he also expands and becomes like, his tusks touch the sky. I mean, he takes the earth on his tusks, so he must be pretty big.
И след това наистина историята продължава, скочил нагоре, изпозител в океана и дигнал цялата земя. Наистина трябва да е доста голям.
So he's bigger than the biggest and smaller than the smallest.
По-голям от най-голямото и по-малко от най-малко.
Because he's also inside the atom.
Защото също вътре и в атома даже.
Everyone. There are so many atoms. It's everywhere. All pervading. And he takes other strange forms like half man, half lion. Right? So, and we have Dasha Avatara Stotra. We may actually chant maybe tonight. We'll see. 10 main incarnations.
Имаме Даша Аватара Стотера, която може би ще разпяваме до вечера. Имаме 10 главни инкарнации.
But in the Bhagavatam it says there are so many incarnations as there are waves on the ocean.
В Бхагаватам?
Yeah.
Бхагаватам се казва, че всички тези инкарнации, те са като вълните в океана.
Now, you start to imagine, we take a photograph or whatever from some satellite that's up there of the Atlantic Ocean, not Black Sea, not Mediterranean, they are small ponds. Big one, Atlantic or Pacific Ocean. How many waves are there?
И сега да кажем, че сателита направим една снимка на големия Атлантически океан, не на Черно море, не на Средиземно море, на големия Атлантически океан. Колко вълни има в големия океан?
I guess you could make some estimation. It's not impossible.
Да се направи някакво такова пресмятане. Не е невъзможно.
You take 1 square meter.
Един квадратен метър.
Not when there is a big storm, but in normal condition, when there are always waves, right? So let's speculate. In 1 square meter, how many waves could there be? let's say, is a good amount, no? 100 small waves. It's too many? You want less? 100 is good, no? Yeah. Easily. So how many square meters are in the Atlantic Ocean? I'm sure millions or trillions, who knows? So then you multiply by 100 and you get some figure that's so big you can't even pronounce. But this is just a small ocean on the earth. That's not really a big ocean. So therefore Ananta Rupam, unlimited forms. And the original one is this one. And when he comes as if a human being. I think all these purports, this are very nice prayers. Yeah. Well, actually the next one, you can read the next one. There it talks about the lotus flower. Somebody, I think, was mentioning, some specific quality, maybe the lotus flower. Yes, it's true, but it's not amongst the four. So, next verse is, actually it's very nice in Sanskrit also, you can just hear it.
I will translate, and he asked if it's possible to ask something. First I can translate.
No, first, then if it's connected to what we said, let's first ask, and then we continue. Yes. Yeah, sure.
Много хубав и той е свързан с Кришна, който има различни лотоси и качества.
No, you're not translating, eh?
I'm translating.
Okay.
И той е свързан и санскритът също е много добър. Сега ще го прочетем, само че ако има въпрос свързан с темата, сега ще го зададе и след това ще продължим.
Аз се обърнах, защото тук говорихме за качества, пък въобще има качество с клейтата, как се Кришна на клейтата. Смисъл, качеството не е ли нещо, което личността притежава?
Не качество, което никой друг няма.
Нали казахме, кои са четирите качества?
Asking about the qualities. It is playing of qualities or something which she possessed.
Yeah. What?
She's asking about this four.
Yeah.
We spoke about the qualities.
Yeah.
But she thinks that maybe this playing of flute is not just like some quality.
Смисъл, качество не е ли нещо, което личността притежава?
Isn't quality something which the person possesses?
Част от характера ми е като...
Parts of the character, not just like making.
Then use a different word. It doesn't matter.
Думата може да е различна всъщност, но това са четирите неща, с които Кришна се различава. Може да е различна.
Four unique characteristics.
Четири уникални характеристики.
That. Yeah. The problem are always the words we have in our language. As a translator, I know that it's very complicated sometimes to find the right. Even you have an English word, how do I have a good German word for that? That's the problem.
Така е. Думите, които ги имаме в този език, английския или немския, те не отговарят точно на санскритските думи. И аз съм преводачи, знам, че това наистина е много трудно. Дори на английски е трудно тези думи да бъдат преведени, а пък на немски това е още по-сложно.
Or the Chinese, the devotees, there's no word for God in the language, because they're all atheists.
Какво да говорим за китайците, в тяхния език няма дума за Бог, защо са всичките атеисти?
No Bog. Yeah? So then you have to describe it in some other way to get some idea what you mean, Anyway, so the Sanskrit is Pankaja is the lotus. There are many names for lotuses, Padma and Kamala and Pankaja, and because they're always a little bit different one from the other. So anyway, this one is Pankaja.
В този стих, думата, която е употребена за лотос е Панкаджа. Има други думи за лотос, но в този стих е употребена думата Панкаджа.
Nama Pankaja Nabaya, Nama Pankaja Maline, Nama Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankajangraye. Sounds nice, huh? This is poetry. So, my respectful obeisances unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, whose glance is as cool as the lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses.
О Господи, давам Ти най-смирените почитания. О Господи, на корема Ти има блуднотина, подобно на лотосът цвят. Ти винаги си окачен с гирлянда от лотоси. Погледът Ти е хладен и свеж като лотосът цвят, а стъпалата Ти са белязани с знака на лотоса.
So Prabhupada said in the purport, here are some of the specific symbolic marks on the spiritual body of the personality of Godhead which distinguish his body from the body of all others.
Шил Прабхупада казва в коментара, че тук има някои специфични...
It's right there. You don't have it? It's 22.
Yes, but the...
First
sentence.
Yeah. Yes.
По духовното тяло на Божествената личност има символични знаци, които го отличават от всички останали тела.
These are all special features of the body of the Lord.
Тези знаци са присъщи само на тялото на Бога.
The Lord may appear as one of us, but he is always distinct by specific bodily features.
Богът може да изглежда като един от нас, но той винаги се откроява с особените знаци по тялото си.
So, let's see what else we have. Actually, I went down here the different purports, and these are all the prayers of Queen Kunti. So, let's see. Oops. The 29. O Lord, no one can understand your transcendental pastimes which appear to be human and are so misleading. You have no specific object of favor, nor do you have any object of envy. People only imagine that you are partial.
О, Господи, никой не може да разбере трансценденталното забавление. Те привличат на развлечението на хората и това могат да поведат всеки. Ти не изпитваш към никого нито пристрастие, нито неприязън. На хората само им се струва, че си пристрастен.
The Lord's mercy upon the fallen souls is equally distributed.
Богът разпределя милостта си към падналите души по еднакъв начин.
He has no one as the specific object of hostility.
Той не е враждебно настроен към никого.
The very conception of the personality of Godhead as a human being is misleading.
Самата представа, че Божествената личност е човешко същество, заблуждава.
His pastimes appear to be exactly like human beings, but actually they are transcendental and without any tinge of material contamination.
Забавлението на Бога само изглежда като развлечението на хората, но в действителност са трансцендентални и са лишени от най-малката следа от материални замърсявания.
He is undoubtedly known as partial to his pure devotees, but in fact he is never partial, as much as the sun is never partial to anyone.
Разбира се, добре е известно, че Богът е особен, благосклонен към чистите си преданни. Той всъщност е напълно безпристрастен като слънцето.
By utilizing the sun rays, sometimes even the stones become valuable, whereas a blind man cannot see the sun, although there are enough sun rays before him.
Облъскайки слънчевите лъчи, понякога дори камъните стават скъпоценни, но слепецът никога не вижда слънцето, макар върху него да пада достатъчно слънчева светлина.
Darkness and light are two opposite conceptions, but this does not mean that the sun is partial in distributing its rays.
Мракът и светлината са две противоположни явления, което обаче не означава, че слънцето разпределя лъчите си с пристрастие.
The sun rays are open to everyone, but the capacities of the receptacles differ.
Слънчевите лъчи са достъпни за всеки, но всеки има различна способност да ги възприеме.
Foolish people think that devotional service is flattering the Lord to get special mercy.
Глупавите хора мислят, че правилното служение ласкае Бога, затова чрез него човек може да завоюва особената милост на Бога.
Factually, the pure devotees who are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord are not a mercantile community.
Но чистите преданни, които дават на Бога трансцендентално любовно служение, не са търговци.
A mercantile house renders service to someone in exchange for values.
Търговската къща прави услуги само срещу плащане.
The pure devotee does not render service unto the Lord for such exchange, and therefore the full mercy of the Lord is open for him.
Чистите преданни не служат на Бога по този начин, затова той ги дарява с цялата си милост.
So that's also important to understand that actually Krishna, he is we are all his part and parcels. Everybody. Everything is his part.
И много важно се разбере, че всички ние сме частички от Кришна.
So one may wonder why is he treating apparently different entities in different ways.
И може да излезе въпрос, защото той се отнася към различни живи същества по различен начин.
As he says in Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya sadhanam vinashaya shaduskritam. I'm coming to protect, to help the sadhus and to vinashaya, to destroy the dushkritas, which are the demons, or people who are acting in a demoniac way.
И Кришна казва в Бхагавад Гита, аз идвам за да покровителствам благочестивите и да унищожа демоните или тези, които действат по демоничен начин.
But he says, Yeyatam mam prapadyate tanstataiva bhajami aham. Depending on how you approach me, I reciprocate.
Но на друго място казва, в зависимост от това, колко ми се отдадеш, аз те възнаграждавам в зависимост от това.
And that is natural.
И това е естествено.
He is a person, don't forget. We are persons because he is a person.
Не забравяйте, че той е личност. Ние сме личности, той също е личност.
And we do that because he does it.
И ние го правим това, защото и той така го прави.
We don't treat everybody the same.
Ние не се отнасяме с всички по един и същ начин.
If somebody treats us nicely, we generally also do that.
Обикновено, ако има някой, който се отнася към нас по много добър начин, ние също обикновено, ние също връщаме по този начин.
If not, then we may at least keep a distance.
Ако не, поне поддържам някаква дистанция.
We don't like to be around people who always tell us, how bad, or whatever, how bad we are. They don't like us, so why should we be with persons who don't like us?
И да кажем, че някой правилно не се отнася добре с нас и винаги се отнася лошо с нас. И ние се опитваме да поддържаме дистанция от тази.
But in the case of the Lord, it's like Prabhupada gives often the example of the father and children.
Но в случай с Бога, Шил Прабхупада често дава примера с бащата и децата. Може да се затвориш от тази.
There is a relationship, a very intimate relationship, which is actually never broken.
Има много такива интимни взаимоотношения, които никога не биват разрушени.
Although, especially normally, a child can reject the father and mother and go away from home.
Въпреки че детето понякога може да пренебрегне бащата и майката и да тръгне далеч от дома.
And father and mother, they will let him go.
Бащата и майката какво направят? Остават го да се тръгне.
They may try to show, it's not a good idea.
Може да се опита да му подскажат как това не е добра идея.
Here you have everything.
Тук имаш всичко, което имаш нужда.
You can live here very peacefully and
Може да
happily.
живееш много спокойно и щастливо.
No, and I want to do my own thing.
Искам да спря моите работи.
Okay, go.
So,
and then normally it happens that that person will just, go down and lie somewhere in the gutter.
И понякога това, което се получава, ще тази личност отива надолу и ляга някъде.
Could be. So anyway, the idea is that mother and father, they will not force anybody to have a relationship.
Но това, което става, че майката и бащата обикновено те не насилват детето, за да има взаимоотношения с него.
But they are always open.
Но винаги са отворени.
Immediately, when that child, even after many, many years, suddenly appears in the door, and I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Come in. You need to come in, have a bath, and then everything is like before. No problem.
И да кажем, че детето дойде след много години и така смирено се обърне и каже, наистина направи голяма грешка, съжалявам. И те веднага, да, заповядай, влизай вътре.
And Krishna is even more. He regularly comes, he sends devotees, he gives scriptures just to, come on, don't be stupid. Leave me alone. Okay. Until next time I'll try one more time.
И Кришна пък е още по-милостив. Идва лично, праща предан дайни и казва, стига с тия глупости. Ела опитай нещо по-хубаво. И ние обаче му казваме, не, остави ме на мира. И Кришна казва, добре, окей, оставам да, ще опитам следващия път.
And when now we have these pastimes, Janmashtami, he appears in the material world, Vrajabhumi was talked about. So that's what another purpose is. He shows what it's like, the life with him.
И когато се проявява в Vrajabhumi преди тези години, другата цел, която той прави, е, че показва на всички какъв е живота в Вриндавана.
Yeah, so that's real life, Vrindavan life, and because it's all attractive, so if we are fortunate, then we feel an attraction for that.
Това е истински живот, живота в Вриндавана, и ако ние сме наистина много големи късметли, ние ще бъдем много привлечени към това.
Actually, and if you think about it, it's part of because we are part and parcels, the soul naturally is inclined to that type of life. Because we are his parts. Therefore, the soul has a natural inclination, a liking for this type of life, Vrindavan life.
Ние сме частички от Кришна и той харесва този начин на живот. Ние естествено
Yes, if you look at the world and how we live and what we like in general, in all history, you can understand.
Ако погледнете този свят и историята като цяло, тогава ще може да разберете.
Where do people like to go after a whole week of work?
Къде хората искат да отидат цяла седмица работа?
To the countryside. Get out of the city. Finally, some, peaceful atmosphere, fresh air. And there's a natural attraction to some water. maybe some river. Right? If you have the choice between just plain field and a nice, clean, sparkling river, even the water is so good you can drink it. It's not contaminated.
И даже ако има такава рекичка, която вода е толкова чиста, че може да си пиеш от нея.
So there's a natural, you like that. If you could do that all the time, but we can't, we have to work.
Ако наистина много харесвам, ако можем да го правим това постоянно, това наистина много ми харесва, обаче ние не можем, защото трябва да ходим да работим.
And you get together with friends and family. You may even then finally, have some music and dance. Isn't it? You eat together. And generally, yes, then there's some, maybe a band or whatever they have, or some, now they have a Bluetooth speaker. So, and some MP3, and you get the music going, and then we're dancing.
Едно време имаше така, като компютър, правихме, сега вече вадим MP3 тройки, пускаме музиката и почваме.
That's today. 200 years ago, very natural. Somebody had some instrument, probably also some flute player, some fiddle player, and then there are a few people who play, and then the others, they get together and they're dancing.
В днешно време така се получава, събират се хората да попият малко, може би има един, който свири на флейта, един с цигулка, пият малко и след това.
So where is that coming from? It's coming from here. That's we should understand that. That's the original. This is all imitation.
Трябва да разберем. Тук това, което е тук описано, това е оригинално.
Why boys and girls are attracted to each other? Because it's the original. That's the only reason. Otherwise, why? But then, that's the point. The only center is Krishna. If it becomes you and me, then that's imitation. You have a right to dance with Krishna. You don't dance with each other. Yeah. And when two jivas get together to do the same thing as the Supreme, that's against the law. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult maybe to understand. If two jivas get together to do what is taking place in the original setup, that's imitation, it's against the law. Да правят това, което Кришна прави в духовния свят, това е против закона. Therefore, the result is always suffering. И резултатът от това е винаги е страдание. Always. Винаги. Even if it's perfect. So-called. Which rarely happens. Дори да е така нареченото съвършено, което много рядко се случва даже. And why? Because it is not forever. We want to have it forever. That's not possible. But with Krishna it's possible. That's the difference. So there's no problem. You want to dance. Dance with Krishna. You want to have a loving relationship. Even that is possible. There's no limit. He already has millions of gopis and queens and Lakshmis. There's place for you.
Въпреки, че Кришна има милиони и милиони гопи в духовния свят, въпреки това има място и за тях.
Sometimes Prabhupada even says it very directly, as you may remember in Nitai Parakamala. We want to join the dancing party of Krishna.
Както Кришна Шрила Прабхупада му казва много директно в тази песен Nitai Parakamala, че ние искаме да се присъединим към хубавото празненство на Кришна.
Hina Nitai Vinebai, Radha Krishna Paite Nai. Unless you get the mercy of Nityananda, you can't get into the dancing party of Radha and Krishna, which we want to get.
Обаче, докато не получиш милостта на Нитянанда, не можеш да се включиш към партито с танци на Кришна.
Then we make our, Prabhupada says, our ball dance, here in the world. Ballroom dancing, it's, like in Vienna, when they have the waltz thing, then 100 couples get together and André Rieu makes the waltz, and then everybody is dancing around. It's like rasa dance. It's an imitation.
И затова, понеже ние не можем да се включим в танцуващото парти на Кришна, затова ние сме създали нашия валсов танц. Както се събират във Виена толкова много хора и двойките, музикалните инструменти си танцуват.
Every year they do this.
Всяка година това се става.
Anyway, there's all over the world, and if not, it's the disco in Ibiza.
Ако това не се става, тогава дискотека в Ибица.
Party all night.
Цяла нощ.
That's right. The show must go on. Yeah, big festival, rock festival. Even if you go like this, still it's the same thing, just completely degraded. That's all. You dance with the devil. You can. It's your choice. You can dance with the devil, or you can dance with Krishna.
Кажеш, това също е имитация на Кришна. Искаш да танцуваш, но този танц всъщност е изключително деградирал. Танцуваш с дявола. И това е, имаш два шанса. Или да танцуваш с дявола, или да танцуваш с Кришна.
The same desire is there. The soul is the soul. But it's so covered that you become death metal and goth. I mean, it's completely tamaguna. Practically, you're dancing with the devil, but you want to dance.
Танца е там. Няма как да спреш да желаеш. Ти желаеш да танцуваш и обаче така си го насочил към нещо, което е напълно тамагуна. Дали е този стил или другия стил, тези там транс, но това е желанието да танцуваш го има.
Anyway, so we should understand, this is the original edition.
Трябва да ви прави това е изначалното edition.
Krishna's, it's like,
Това са изначалните неща.
So, and we can join. That's the truth. It's not that this is going on and we are so far away. We have nothing to do with it. We are meant to take part.
И ние можем да се присъединим всъщност. Не е така, че това е някъде много далече и ние нямаме никакъв шанс да отидем там. Ние всъщност можем да вземем участие.
I mean, even Vrindavan, we may think, well, it's a little village. How many people can be there? It's already filled up. There's no more vacancy, all the rooms are taken.
Дори Вриндаван, ние може да мислим това на малко селце. Може би няма място за мен, защото е много малко и вече всичките свободни места са заети и за мен няма да имам местенци.
You want to build a house in Vrindavan, there's no land available, it's all taken. You can't buy a piece of land. So no house in Vrindavan.
Направиш къща в Вриндаван, обаче всичките земи са грабени. И какво да правя? Няма да имам къща в Вриндаван.
No, that's the material world. We cannot imagine, but we should understand the spiritual world is unlimited. We can't imagine it, but that's the truth.
Не можем да си го представим, обаче истината е, че духовният свят е безкрайен.
And although Krishna has already unlimited servitors, still, you can have a personal relationship with him. He will reciprocate. It's not that, he has so many friends. One more, it's just superfluous or no interested, or even if, then he will forget you tomorrow because there's so many others. No, that's the difference.
И разликата също е, че в материалния свят, да кажем, че имаш много приятели и ако още един иска да стане приятел, защо изобщо аз имам толкова много приятели? И също тези приятелски взаимоотношения могат да се развалят всеки един момент. Не, всъщност това е в материалния свят.
Yeah, if you think about it, I think I said it. How many friends can you have, generally, and you can still remember each one's name, and you know who they are, and you have a relationship? How many people can you take care of in your agenda, let's say? You have a circle of friends. How many can you have?
Аз така да споменал веднъж, да кажем колко приятели можеш да имаш, да им помниш имената, така да имаш добри взаимоотношения с тях и добри...
Yeah. Even, a personal relationship, not just knowing them.
Да, говорим не само така да познаваме, нито и така наткане, говорим за лични взаимоотношения.
And if you want to take care of them every day, you have 24 hours.
А пък ако трябва да се грижиш за тях, вече твоите 24 часа.
We can calculate again, How much time do we give each person to have a relationship with? 5 minutes? It's not very much, but better than nothing.
Колко време си отделяме ние за нашите лични взаимоотношения? По 5 минутки не е много, все пак е нещо.
So 5 minutes means in 1 hour you can take care of 12 people.
Ако отделиш 5 минути, това означава, че за един час ти можеш да се грижиш за 12.
So without sleeping, without eating, 24 hours means 24 times 12.
Без да спиш, без да ядеш, това означава 20-24.
That's 288 people.
Това е 288.
If I'm not mistaken. Right? 10 times 2, 24 is 240. 2 times 24 is 48. 288.
Is 480.
4? Really?
Should be. 20.
No, it's 12
24
times 20.
12.
12.
Yes, 12 12 in an hour.
24. Yes, 12 something.
So if you have 2.5 minutes for each, you can have more than 500 in one day. So and then maybe, as you say, once a year, I'll meet you. So then you can multiply it by 365. So you can have a lot of friends, but you only meet them once a year for 5 minutes or for 2 minutes.
И да кажеш, примерно, че веднъж годишно се срещаме и тогава може да имаш много повече, обаче хора, с които се виждаш само веднъж годишно и то за 5 минути.
And still it's very limited.
И това е много ограничено.
So let's round it up. 300 times 300 means about 9,000, right? Let's say 10,000 people. You have 10,000 friends, you can meet once a year for 2 minutes. That's not a very satisfactory relationship. So Krishna can meet everybody all the time, and there's no limit. And how is it possible? Well, that's why he's Krishna. It's the Supreme Person. He is capable of having unlimited relationships simultaneously with everybody, and it's personal.
Кришна, това е взаимоотношението на Кришна. Той има капацитета да е по едно и също време навсякъде, до безкрайност, с абсолютно всички живи същества и също да имат такива лични взаимоотношения.
So therefore we celebrate when he comes, Janmashtami. Because he's not an ordinary person, right? He's the Supreme. Yeah. So, what do we do now? Anything you want to ask, questions, or we sing maybe one more song?
Някакви въпроси, някой иска да някакъв въпрос, почнем правим или...
We can continue to read. What's going to be our program? Well, nothing to do really, huh? I know, that's your problem. You need another translator, you can go, you know. The farm is like that. Otherwise you should just shut everything down and today is Janmashtami, nothing else. It's probably not possible. But that would be the idea. Then you'd hang a sign outside, closed, you know. Like if you have in other business you do that, just lock the door. Today we're not there. Yeah, that would be an intense experience. We just continue until we drop dead, you know, basically. We can't continue because the body doesn't want to cooperate. But probably we just continue to read and chant and no stoppage until tonight, midnight, you know. And then, wow.
Това ще е прекрасна възможност, ако можем да го направим. Прабхупада го правил това. Само четене, възпяване, докато тялото напълно се свърши. И така до 12 часа.
Well, we may realize that we are not the body.
И тогава има възможност да
because although the body is like so tired it just could drop dead, still you're in ecstasy, you can't stop, you know. Yes, ekadasis are meant for that. We don't do that generally. They can be very similar to Janmashtami. Few times I did it. It's an experience. You don't eat, you don't drink, and you just do read or chant the whole day and all night. It's tough. But then you're so wired up, you can't, you know, if you even think of sleeping, no possible to sleep. Eh? So ekadasi is only twice a month, so it's possible to do that. It's not every day. We can't do that every day. Eh? Yes, and Janmashtami is once a year, so it's actually meant for doing something like that. So then now, what are we going to do? No, I'm asking you because you are the one, the chief, to decide.
Maybe you can ask what devotees like to be done.
Oh, what would you like to do when you... Yeah, of course, we can ask. Any opinions?
Maybe japa?
Japa we can do, of course.
Together. What? Вие можете тук да ги правите за протокол. They want to make a hero, but they can collect some flowers, they can come here, they can make.
Sure they can. Yeah. That's good. So, then one can read, for example, Krishna book. You have Krishna book?
Yes.
That's nice. So, you know, if everybody is together.
In English or?
Well, you probably read it in Bulgarian. So, anything new?
Okay, well, I think more versions.
We can have one. I prepared it, I think. Yashomati Nandana, which is very appropriate.
Yes.
Let's see where it is. This has to go up. And here we go. So we have the translation here. If or you have it. Otherwise, let's see how we're going to do that. Yeah, you can see it on the screen. Okay. No, Bhakti no Thakur's. It's actually called Nama Kirtan. It's all Krishna's names.
Йоша Матинандана се нарича Нама Киртан, защото се състои само от имена на Кришна.